Hello, I'm John Hartledge. Welcome to my channel. Excellent episode for you today. I can't wait to taste these wines simultaneously. I don't know if it's going to be a Italy versus California, because I think in this case the deck is a little stacked against California. Sorry, Scotty. I'm really looking forward to her Sangiovese, but this is 2012. It's had time in the bottle. It's got a little more than just Sangiovese, but we share the grape. We have Old World, we have New World. We have the influence of the New World now in the Old World. Let's chat wine. All right, we're gonna jump right in. Let's move these right to the side. Let's get the glasses ready to go, and let's go right to it. Okay, let's get the capsule off. Okay, as I said, New World, obviously California. Old World, Italy, many years. Roman soldiers, thousands of years of winemaking, and a very storied area, Tuscany. So up until around 1971, well, really in the 70s, the winemakers in, this is really, I'm so glad this is happening. I'm having trouble with this capsule because what they did with this capsule was really bind it to the whole neck. So I'm having to actually peel it away. So it's a little bit messy, but I just went right around it with the blade. Okay, so it came off like that, not too bad. But they really bound this to it. And if you run into that, because usually I go right to the capsule and I try to loosen it up. So if that doesn't happen, just like I did, take your knife and just go around that bottom ridge, because you got a really nice ridge there. You go right under that ridge. If you get too close to your cork, then you're gonna have like metal and shavings all over. Here, I mean like jagged edges. So here, right underneath, boom, boom, and then it just peeled right off beautifully. So let me get all of that on my handy dandy plate here and just kind of right off the table. There we go, that's nicer. Much better, much better. Okay, good. So as I said, Chianti, in the 70s, it was still governed by the wine government that were saying, in order to class your wine as Chianti or from Tuscany with a regular class as a good wine, you had to use a maximum of 70% Sangiovese. Now this is the driver red for full-bodied wines in Tuscany. 70%. Now what about that other 30%? At least 10% had to be white wine. So you had winemakers in the 70s with newer winemaking techniques, more cleaner techniques, more extraction, wanting to go after bigger red fruit, which was their competition, California, even France. More and more red fruit. But I got to put 10% white grapes into because that was the classic recipe of Chianti. Was a little bit of white wine was blended, and different reds, not just Sangiovese. And some of the producers in the 70s said, in Chianti in Tuscany, said, look, I want to make a bigger red, but how can I do that? How can I represent the Sangiovese, just all Sangiovese? And they couldn't get a nice representation. So they said, to heck with the classification. They started making what were called Super Tuscans. And it was actually Tignanello from the House of Antinori was one of the first. In 1978, they released a 1971 blend they had done, and it used Sangiovese, it used Cabernet, it used Merlot, so almost a Bordeaux approach to Italian wine, and it was very successful. But he was, the Antinori was inspired by Sassicaia, two big names. Now these are wines that sell like Bordeaux, big demand, but it started a whole new class of wine in the late 70s called Super Tuscan wines. And like I said, you may see in the notes there, $30 up to $38, $39 retail. So it's not cheap. And this is Sangiovese. So here's where the New World comes into the Old World. Sangiovese, Cabernet, and Merlot blended. Not just Sangiovese, all red grapes. So definitely not Chianti. So now a top class of IGT. Indicazione Geografica Tipica. This IGT. Oh, things happen. I'm getting so excited. So I can't wait to taste the wines. Okay, anyway, really, really, really popular style of wine. But this is 2012. It's had 5 years at least, if not more, in the bottle. I think it's going to win if you were going to do one versus the other. but I don't really want to do one versus the other. This is my good friend Scott Zanon, another one of his wines from Sonoma. Fabulous growing region, and he, being the Italophile that he is, he loves everything Italian. He had to do not only his Zinfandel, which is great, it's a nice throwback to a nice nod towards Primitivo. Here's his nod to the Chianti region, but all Sangiovese in an area that's great for growing season, long time on the vines with that fruit. So again, higher alcohol, 14%. I have a feeling this is going to be big, fruity, and almost jammy, where this is going to be a little more like Bordeaux. Okay, here we go. So Scott's Sangiovese spends 17 months in neutral American oak, so there's not a lot of flavor imparted by wood. The Chianti definitely spending some time in oak aging. I'm going to say 18 to 24 months, so there's definitely going to be some oak influence there, which it's going to come out a little bit in the nose, but wow, you have more of a bouquet happening now, not just specific little tiny aromas, but now you have a melange. You have this combination bouquet. It's a many different things, but you almost can't point out one particular one. It all kind of coalesces together. Very nice. Oh boy, wow. I did not expect that. Now, Sangiovese is a grape that sometimes can be what I call angular. Hit you on the sides of the tongue with this almost tart cherry, and then sometimes gives you a little bit of body, but leaves you a little more, can be thin. So that's why Cabernet, Merlot, make it a little more unctuous. Growing season, a little higher alcohol by volume, so then a little more jamminess. Jammy, but at the same time very clean. Really, really nice bottle of wine for $20. And it's true to Sangiovese. It's funny, with this great growing season, this little higher alcohol, you think, okay, it's just gonna be a lot of fruit and jam. There's a feeling of this big fruit, but it cleans the palate, and it cleans the palate in the way Sangiovese would. So beautiful food wine from California. Wow. Excellent, excellent example of Sangiovese in representing the grape and really nodding towards a Tuscan approach to Sangiovese. A Chianti with great fruit. Ooh, very nice job. Thank you, Scott Zanon. Wow, drinking a little more like a Bordeaux. There's definitely the Sangiovese influence, but the Cabernet and the Merlot just add this fruit that just feels like a cellar wine. Really, really nice bottle too. I don't know how I would pick between the two. I guess it just depends on the situation, what I'm gonna have. I could almost do this by itself on the deck because it's such fresh fruit. Here you've got complexity. You've got a complexity of bottle age, and also the little bit of earth and wood coming from that terroir, that area of Italy. Both excellent bottles. Really, really fun. Oh man, how do you say who wins? I want to say that we're working together here, especially since Scott Zanon is so into Italian wine. And here we have the Italians borrowing from the beautiful fruit of the California New World style and then putting that into a now 30, 40 years of history of this new, relatively new style of wine called Super Tuscan. Wow, fabulous. Sip, subscribe, and share. Let's chat wine. Ooh, wait, I just thought of something. We need to talk about Bernoulli's principle, especially with that big Tuscan. All right, let me get back in the driver's seat here. Oh, all right, okay. Okay, right after we cut out the last segment, that taste that I had taken when I said let's chat wine of the big Super Tuscan really started hitting me on the finish with tannin because my whole mouth dried out. So I said, you know what? Even as a wine that's been in the bottle for 5 years, let's get some air on it. Here we go. Get ready to gurgle. And oh, I love that sound. I just love it. Okay, forcing air in there, aging the wine even more as we serve it. Yes. Already smoothed it out. Wow. Big fruit and much softer on the finish. Oh. How does it get more fun than this? Cheers.